So today we're going to be speaking on the 10th chakra, and it appears that a lot of authors have many different opinions about where this is located. Some tell us it's above the ninth, others tell us it's below the feet. After meditating on this subject myself, I choose the one under the feet because it is a need to be grounded at all times. So this is very important. We teach you grounding exercises, which I expect you to do, and I really want you to do them before each meditation. The location, so I believe, for my truth, is about 1 to 1.5 feet below the earth, below our feet. And also, I believe it extends to probably 6 to 8 feet above our head. Now, why am I saying this? Because we're an oval. The energy flows to an oval. And this is the chakra that's going to connect you to both. Okay? And this, like I said, may vary. The color for this, I believe, are earth tones, like a limestone look, limestone yellow to greens. It could be anything that's with the earth. So if you see little earth tones in there, don't get excited. Just know that, ask them to change it. If you see this in someone's aura, that as long as it's not mudded. So we want to see these wonderful tones of those colors. Now, the development, sometimes we find out one of the developments within this. Well, our soul activates our 10th chakra before conception. Remember how we talked about the 9th chakra and conception? Well, doesn't it mean now it's also coming into the 10th chakra? So, before our parents considered even having a child, that our 10th chakra, the 10th chakra starts to elevate. And maybe that's why some people have a hard time getting pregnant, because maybe that chakra isn't ready, you know. So also with the earth, that they're grounded. So we got to remember that this helps our spirit into form. Actually, we are only a materialized spirit in form. We're just a materialized spirit. And it makes sense that the spirit cannot just come down without preparation. So it has to be prepared. And so does the mother and the father have to be prepared to accept this child. So when we stop about and we think about all these things that are happening in these areas of chakras, it's all about what? Our life's purpose, our soul's purpose. It's so exciting. I believe that the genes come from the 10th chakra, and they will carry on into our life's purpose. And maybe you can call it DNA, I don't know. I think I like the word genes because I don't know that much all about the DNA. But the reactivation from the ages of, like, who knows, maybe some, like a reactivation between maybe 30 and 45. Sometimes it's earlier when people start having babies, I guess. It's challenged to be fully grounded and to realize our true identity of our life's work. By that time, sometimes when we're in that age, 35 and 40, our life paths change and we do something else. You know, you may be destined to be a teacher for 20 years, and all of a sudden you decide, I want to change into something else. So this is part of those activations of this 10th chakra going on. And this is the part where we have to have the true identity of what we're supposed to do. Our soul starts to realize when this gets open and we get our real purpose. I know a gal that was with the newspaper, say maybe, I think 15 years. And she decided when she was 42 to go back to college to become a teacher. And so that's part of the 10th chakra. They're moving in and saying, okay, I'm ready to move on, a rebirth, because she was true to her own self. Sometimes you wake up and you know what you need to do. And I'm wondering if this could also be like when people have midlife crisis, that this happens. And the mental belief of past issue generates belief, life cycles, and that's thinking of the age. A lot of times we have that, we think of, oh God, I'm 45. Or, oh no, I turned 30. How many did you hear that? I don't know what was drastic, but these are all life changes, and it all begins our life purpose, and that's all designed already in our 10th. We brought that in. That's in our 10th area here. And this is the database for all the elements, and it contains elements of of fire, the earth, the water, and air. That's why with the feet coming up in to the air, right? So it also contains the yang energy. It also, contains the yin energy, male and female energy. And that's how the masculine is to eliminate the waste, and it channels the energy of real life achievement. And then the female energy, she receives the earth energy for the entire system. You got that? You see how that works? So when we go to this chakra, this is the chakra that gives us life energy. So daily cleansing energy is needed to spiritualize the body. So we need to think all the time of cleansing all of these systems together. And we can do it, I really feel, by meditation and intention of what we need to do. And it will work. And this is nurturing. Remember the mother. And it's substance, the father. Nurturing the female. Substance is the male. And the information of the immediate past and everyday life patterns sometimes come from this chakra, that we kind of know just the immediate, what we need in order to move on. And that will come through, and we can have it as an everyday pattern. Also, the characteristics, physical characteristics from our gene pool help us to meet our life challenges. And through our feet, transportation information from our past lives can come. Through the legs, it transports through the lineage of who we are, where we came from. So you see, it's all important that we have both. So remember, I believe, this is my truth, the 10th chakra is also from Mother Earth, and it goes up into the heavens. And if you see an aura, that aura extends all around the body, and it like stops. It's not like an oval, your feet are dancing, so it has to go underneath. That has to penetrate right through the earth. I should have a board here that I could demonstrate that. So, what is the key word here? It's grounding. So we need that grounding. We need that grounding in this work. Very important. We need to be grounded. It's telling us. We need to have the grounding. And the energy type here is basic and essential energy, because we're working with the earth, and we're working with all of the etheric, and we're bringing it together. So what is the physical? When we work with the physical communication of this chakra, it dumps the waste products from the physical and emotional bodies from the aura. When we work on this, it'll get it out of the aura for us. It'll cleanse it. So when you do healing and you see a lot of people have a lot of emotion, maybe it's time to just dump it into that, and it'll take care of itself. And to that aura, remember, the 10th chakra, you've got how many elevations going up there. So when we receive the basic energy from the ground, because it feeds the physical system. In women, the energy is usually stored in the abdomen. So, don't we usually have, women usually carry a belly right here. That's where we store this energy. Now in men, the energy is stored in the solar plex area that women sometimes extend down here. Men come right out here. They come right out here to solar plexus. So we have to, we think about this and say, boy, this really makes sense. So what we need to proper influx of energy necessary to fight and deal with life's energies that occur in all life patterns. What is the psychic connection? This is the key to the affecting energy of grounding. It keeps all the chakras aligned and locking all the energies into the earth. And that's what we need, because without grounding, the body energy gets too frightening to receive, and it can send appropriate information or holds its boundaries. So we have to have boundaries when we do this. The spiritual chakra also helps in the spirit into form. Because what did I say before? We are just materialized spirit. But the energies have to be brought down in order to manifest in a body. The intuitive connection is, it serves as locking down a place for the soul, which must be fully integrated on all levels of the physical and the body to accomplish this purpose in life. Usually when people have this chakra all out of balance, they have problems with their feet, leg problems, and sometimes adrenal problems. And this is coinciding with the second and the third chakra. See, these all come down into these areas also. Because what? Why? The 10th, you're saying, why? I thought this was different elevations, because it's grounded. It's that, remember, the earth and the physical are uniting together. That's probably what it is. And this, I hate to say this, but we have to understand it. This is the chakra that contains annoyance issues like paranoia, neurosis, psychosis. This is where it can happen because they get stuck in that realm. Because this is where, if we don't balance, and if we don't keep it balanced, keep our thoughts right and everything else, this is where you're going to like this one because some people might not agree, but this is the chakra that can also absorb harmful spirit and also attract people that you don't want, So we got to be really careful about that chakra because don't forget, it's still earth and it's also up in here and we're connecting to all there is, and people can lay up in that level if we don't keep it cleansed and if we ourselves aren't purified. Not everybody wants to believe that. I've talked to many channelers and they don't agree. But I'm sorry, I have to know that it does exist. And sometimes when we have problems in this area, we're difficult being centered. It's hard for us to keep centered into focusing on what we're doing. And sometimes you'll find children like that, where they have a hard time focusing and they're all over the place. Because you know what? They're in between the world yet. They're in this world and sometimes they're just all fidgety and nervous because they know what they came from and it was wonderful. So maybe that's part of the AD syndrome, ADH, or all of those syndromes they say people have. So what we have to do is we have to remember that all of these is still the earth and we're connecting it to what we need for our soul's purpose. So we got to keep all of these cleansed and purified. And with that, I want to say, God bless you. Today we're going to speak about the 11th chakra. Now, we all know that each chakra is designed to function in a different way. And when we have all these chakras lined up, it's a really healthy process occurs in a spiritual awakening. When we spoke about the 10th chakra that was located below the feet, this is the grounding that most people think is important to do in the New Age or meditation. but actually it goes a little further than that. It goes into the deep etheric, and it goes into the Merkaba that they forgot to ground, thus giving a problem. The Merkaba, remember I told you, is this Merkaba is this symbol, the hexagon symbol, and all those symbols. Well, this is a part of it that we forget. We forget that we're in there. We need to ground. It's very important. So our information that came up from the feet and the legs, remember I talked about that in chakra 10, that all proceeds to go into the second chakra, which is feeling. See how all of these are what? Connected. All of them are connected. And then it goes up to the third chakra, which is our opinion, our solar plexus. Then it comes up to the heart chakra, which is another type of feeling. Then it goes into the throat response center. The sixth, the insight. And the seventh is our release center. This is all healthy alignment. But the most important is being grounded in all things. We can't discuss this enough about being grounded. Because, as we said, in meditation we bring the energy down as well as we bring it up. And often we don't bring it up from the ground, so we don't connect. So that leaves us all out of balance, because a lot of people just think it comes in the top of their heads. They don't believe that the energy comes all around them. So when we do this, the results are when we only bring the energy down and we don't bring it up, what are we doing? We're misplacing our chakras. This is what's going to them. Then they're going all over the place. And some people obstruct their chakras by not allowing the energy to go above their waist. This happens so often. They push out the chakras because they don't want it to go up. They don't want to feel their heart. They don't want to do all this, so that it just kind of sticks there. And this is all related into what? Our feelings. So when we block this consciousness, what happens? Our first chakra is consciousness, and the intelligent gets mixed up. It happens when we think we concept of that chakra. In other words, that we can block our own consciousness. It's very simple. And the blocking of the consciousness is coming from this chakra that we're talking about, the 11th chakra. Does that make sense? So, I wish I had people here to ask questions, because we could do that. But anyway, when this occurs, the first feeling chakra is misplaced in the heart. And so we gather opinions from the throat. It's really, you say, wow, this sounds so confusing, but it's true. We gather the opinions from the heart, from the throat, because that's what we feel in the heart, and coming from the feelings from the solar plexus, we get all mixed up, and this is where a neurosis can occur. Remember we talked about the neurosis in 10? Well, it's because we're not connecting. And sometimes with this displacement, we can have headaches and cold bodies, and we can be numb, and we can have stress and hypertension. We do it to ourselves. So what we need to know, this chakra is located around our hands and around our feet, coming out the bottom of our feet. So if you would sit in a chair, put your feet out and your hands out, this is where that energy is coming from. This is where, and usually this energy is a pink ray coming in the pink, and the whole auric field is pink. And the function is giving and receiving. God gives, you receive, so forth. You receive it, and then you give it. It's an open and a shut hand. It's again the yin going out into the world, and the female coming into the world. Coming into the world, when we receive all this energy coming from the divine, remember from the God consciousness, wow. Think of that, yin energy. That's just a punt for ladies, maybe God's female. We have to laugh at that one. But anyway, the source is transferring, is sending and receiving and giving. So, and this will meet all situations. The key word is transmutation. transmutation. This is where, when all this is good, this is where we can also travel, do time travel. You heard of time travel. And a lot of people study that, where they do out-of-body time travel experiences. But we're not going to do that yet, because we're just getting ourselves in order. And it's also, the energy is the etheric, it's ether. And we can take this element or this emotional energy, and it is emotional, available outside the world, and we can convert it. Right in this, we can convert this energy from the 11th chakra. We can convert it. God gave us that ability to convert that energy. And so often when people have a lot of energy and emotion, we can take that emotion from ourselves, and what can we do? We can send it to the ethers for purification. And you can do that to your own body if you need to. And let's give you an example of that. We can soak up the energy of a rainstorm, or we can soak up the energy of an angry person. So what are we going to hold? Are we going to hold on to that energy? Do you want to hold on to that energy? No. We can remit that energy and get it purified. We can send it up, because we received that energy from the anger, and we can send it out into the etheric, the ethers, for purification. That's the wonderful part about it. And what's a psychic with this? We feel with our hands. We feel with our hands. And so a lot of times we take this important information that we receive, and like if it's negative energy, what we can do, we felt from another individual, and we don't know. You can go in a crowd and you can feel that. But that's why we gotta surround ourselves with the purification light, that we don't get that energy. And so often we forget. That's when people go into the hospitals, and they'll go into the hospital, and a sick body will pull energy, not knowing that sick body can pull energy from you. And we come home and we're drained and we're tired. Well, what we can do, we can take that energy and we can have it purified. But sometimes a lot of people don't recognize that. But we as healers know that. That's why it's important to establish yourself before you do anything, to balance yourself in a white light of love and grace from God, and knowing that you're protected from these energies. And then maybe it's important, if you work on someone very difficult or something, that you ground yourself and really purify yourself after the situation. Purify your own aura, There's nothing wrong with that. They'll say, well, nothing can penetrate the white light. But we got to remember, we forget to do it. We forget to do it half the time. How often do we rush into a hospital? Because of what? Because of that old 10th chakra saying time, time, time. Or 9th chakra, time, time, time. We don't have this time, but what are we doing? We forget all these things. It's only a normal thing. So when we get it all together and we understand this, we're going to recall. We take 2 minutes and say, this is what I need to do in order for myself to grow. So let's feel that energy with your hand. You can feel the energy emitting from your hand, and also knowing that take your hand and put it all the way up and around, and you'll feel the aura. That's where you're feeling the aura of another individual. Wow, is it strong? So feel. Just feel that energy. Put your hands up and feel it. Feel it. Feel that energy flowing in. Feel it. Do it. Do it. It's really neat. You feel that energy flowing all around. And we're laughing about this, but it's true. We got to feel that energy, because that's where the healing comes through. You're pulling in the etheric. So the intuitive communication is reaches for all your desires, what you need to do. And it will convert that physical energy that we receive through our hands with the energy, as I said, and it will put it into the spiritual energy. That's how we heal. Problems in this area where you could see as a healer reaches out to other individuals when they have these problems in areas of their hands and their feet. This is usually a problem in the connection of both together in proper manner. It's problems when you reach out for what you want and you can't get it. It's like always there, and you desire to do it, but somehow your goals aren't met. And also it's problems with accepting help from others, and sometimes, or receiving from others. A lot of times people can give, but it's hard for them to receive a gift. Like giving a gift, but it's hard for them to receive a gift. And problems dealing in difficult situations. Like when people get excited, overexcited when it comes to a traumatic experience, that they get emotionally involved and they cannot deal in a quiet manner. And also it's fear. If you have a lot of fear, it could all be problems within these areas. And the big thing for healers is a loss of energy when doing psychic work. So when someone does psychic work and they get very fatigued afterward, and I understand a lot of people do, a lot of healers do, well, evidently they have an imbalance there. It's an imbalance in these top chakras somewhere, because it shouldn't be if they're receiving their full energy instead of using spirit energy versus using their energy. That's the difference. So when you say people get very tired when they heal, well then they're giving their energy. They're not receiving the energy. Now, well, let's talk about receiving it. Hold your hand up and feel that energy coming in. And then put your hand out and you can feel the energy flowing. That's receiving and that's giving. And some people, when they heal, they're just giving their energy. They're not probably receiving. They shut themselves down and think they can do it, that they are the healer, and they're not. That gives them a problem. So I guess it's the same way if you're doing psychic work and you get very tired, so then you know you've got to keep yourself in balance. That's very important. So we're going to move on to the 12th chakra, and what we're going to do is talk about that 12th chakra, because the 12th chakra is, of course, above the 11th. And the 12th chakra is very complex because this is the energy system that's connected to our complete body. It connects to each 32 points of our secondary chakra points. So it's connecting everything. So it's very complex. It may look like this. You see how it's connected to everything and all. And so it contains all the layers of the etheric bodies. It contains all these layers. And these points are the secondary chakras that are located within our physical body. These become, and we have a lot of them. There's just not 7. There's a lot of chakras going on in our body which we're not aware of. It's in combination with the 10 chakras beneath the feet. Beneath the feet we have many layers of earth going down. So we have many, with the 10th chakra, going down beneath the feet, 1 to 4 feet beneath the earth. So we got to remember that when we stay connected, this is the power of continuous. Look at that. We are all connected. Right there, we're in the center. This is the top part of us. So, Leadbeater says, man is soul and owns a body, several bodies in fact. For besides the visible vehicle by means of which he transacts his business with his lower worlds, and he has others, what are we talking about? The 8th on above, that are not visible to ordinary sights. So, we have to remember that the 12 goes further into the earth and all around earth, the etheric. And we need to tap into the elements, of course, again, of the earth to keep grounded. So besides the bodies of man,